On a recent webinar, a participant asked me, what do you do when your product team doesn't control the entire product experience? In this particular instance, it was an e-commerce team, and they don't control the SKUs, the products that are in their store. They don't always control the titles and the descriptions because all of that is coming from the merchants. I've also seen this challenge a lot with media companies where there's an editorial team or a journalism team that's separate from the product team. So the product team is working on the features and the content team is providing the content. This is really common. You can imagine streaming entertainment services have this challenge where they build the features, but a different team is responsible for the content. So what happens when you interview your customers and you hear about pain points that are related more to that content, the products, the TV shows, the journalism articles, and they're outside the product team's control. This can be really challenging, especially if you're working on an outcome that spans these two groups. There's a few ways I've seen teams tackle this. One, they embed people from those content teams into their product teams. So I've worked with a media company where journalists embedded with the product teams so that they could learn with the product teams about where readers were having challenges. That works in some instances, but not all, but it's one thing to consider. Another thing you can do is the product team can share what they're learning with their editorial teams, with their content teams, or with the teams in the e-commerce case, with the teams responsible for sourcing merchants or sourcing products. This is sort of a two-way. Really, the heart of this question is how do we provide two-way communication between these two teams that are contributing to the product experience? So we can embed them, we can have them collaborate cross-functionally. Sometimes that works. When that doesn't work, we need to make sure there's two-way communication between these groups, where that merchant team or that content team can communicate their needs to the product team, and the product team can communicate back to that content team or that merchant's team what's missing. What products are we missing? What content are we missing? What stories do people want to hear about? So really, the heart of this question is one about cross-functional collaboration. I don't have a silver bullet here. I think the key is to think about how do we bring these teams closer together. If you work on one of these teams and you have tips on how to do this well, share in the comments below, because I know this is a really common challenge.